it is referred to as total income of the country. Income as the name suggests is the total income of the country. Whatever income the country gets, whatever the citizen prices to generate, called as total income. In the economics, national income is the aggregate monetary value of all final goods and services produced in an economy during the year. Monetary value means monetary means basic meaning. Aggregate means aggregate. Final goods and services. Average of final goods and services. This is normalmente very small. Talk about what is final goods and services. The capital value and the selling price. It is a final goods and services. What does it mean final goods and services? Something has gone through a processing. That is wood, as well as lead manufacturing, typically lead, which has been pressed, to give it a paint, to shape it appropriately, to brand it, give it a name, to package it, and to sell it to the customer. It has gone through a very lengthy process. After that, it becomes a commodity. If somebody gives you wood and lead, it is not going to be profitable. You won't be able to do anything with the wood and the lead. You won't be able to write, isn't it? In the same way, final goods and final goods, the value of only final goods will be taken. Always remember, the value of only final goods will be taken. That means if a pencil is costing 8 rupees, 7 rupees, whatever the amount is, at that point of time, we won't include the cost of the wood. We won't include the cost of the lead, of the paint that has been applied on this wood, as well as the traveling expenses. Everything is included. That's why it is called as final goods and services. So whenever we are talking about national income, we have to understand what is final goods and services. So everybody in the entire process had made some amount of profit. The profit is very, very less. I do understand that. But this product it's sold is bulk quantity. It is not sold in single quantity like mobile phones. It is not sold like mobile phones. It is sold in bulk quantity. The quantity that is manufactured is large and the amount that is supplied is also large. That's why we have to understand the meaning of final goods and services. Second example, and take off a mobile phone. In a mobile phone, there are various things that are put together. Various small companies who manufacture small parts supply to the mobile manufacturing company, and everything put together becomes one smartphone. So you will be charged for the final product, not for the screen separately, for the battery separately. All these things won't be charged separately. It is including the final goods and services. So I hope now it is clear. So whenever we are calculating, we will calculate only final goods. We won't
किया गया था वो पेंसिल मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए, वो सब कुछ कैपिटल एसेट्स है. जो भी छोटा मोटा मशीन्स यूज किया है, एवरीथिंग इज कैपिटल गुड्स. बिकॉज उससे क्या जनरेट हो रहा है? इनकम जनरेट हो रहा है. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, कैपिटल गुड्स मीन्स थ्रू विच इनकम इज जनरेटेड. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कैपिटल गुड्स. अगर एक स्वीट्स का दुकान है जो स्वीट सेल करता है, तो उसके लिए कैपिटल गुड्स क्या हो गया? जो शुगर है वो उसके लिए कैपिटल गुड्स है. वो शुगर क्यों खरीद रहा है? स्वीट्स बना के सेल करने के लिए. तो उसके लिए क्या हो गया? शुगर कैपिटल गुड्स हो गया. अंडरस्टूड? सो कैपिटल गुड्स का बहुत सारा मतलब है. जो भी गुड्स हम लोग बिजनेस पर्पज के लिए यूज करते हैं, जिससे इनकम जनरेट होता है, उसे कैपिटल गुड्स कहते हैं. अगर एक दुकान है, दुकान के अंदर अगर कोई एयर कंडीशन इंस्टॉल करता है, तो वो भी कैपिटल गुड्स हो गया. कि उसने खुद के लिए इंस्टॉल किया है क्या? नहीं. He has installed it for the customers. Understood? तो ये सब छोटा छोटा चीज क्या होता है? कैपिटल गुड्स है. It refers to creation of capital assets through mobilization of saving. Example, machinery, equipment, etc. Equipment का मतलब भी related to machinery है. अभी हम लोग उसमें एकदम डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे. Capital goods. Then going forward, trade cycles. So I hope capital assets is clear. Capital assets and capital goods are almost one and the same. Trade cycles. Trade cycles are divided into two parts: inflation and depression. Trade cycle क्या होता है? इसका एग्जांपल तुम खुद दे सकते हो. You tell me about Nokia company. नोकिया कंपनी नाम सुना है? the consumption pattern changed from the Nokia company to Samsung. Everybody started buying Samsung. That is called as what? Trade cycle. Trade cycle means at one point of time you are making a very huge amount of profit, and then your profit is going down. That is called as trade cycles. Trade cycles are fluctuations in business. They are ups and downs in overall economic activity. A very simple understanding about trade cycle. The taste of customers keeps on changing. That's why business also changes. Few years back, 5 years back, there was mall culture. People used to go to mall to buy groceries, to buy food items and all. Now everything is ordered online, because in online we are getting much cheaper than the mall. And to go over there to carry all the things, it becomes very difficult. So the trade cycle, this is called as trade cycle. As per the convenience, as per the taste of the customer, the products are designed. Keypad phone. Keypad phone was in more demand. It was demanded on a very large scale during 2000 to 2008. It was in high demand, keypad phone, and it was a common thing to use a keypad phone. But now the manufacturing of keypad phone has gone down drastically. Why? Because of this reason only, isn't it? That is called as trade cycle. Trade cycle means the business keeps on changing, the customer tastes, the customer habits keeps on changing. The product which we are using now, maybe after 10 years we won't be using that product, we'll be using something else, some upgraded thing. Some trade cycles don't change. Like the same thing I can come, pencil manufacturing company, rubber manufacturing company, pen manufacturing company, all these don't change. There is hardly any change in this kind of product. But yeah, technological product keeps on changing. Food products keeps on changing, keeps on upgrading according to the taste and preferences of the consumers. Ups and downs means fluctuation caused by inflation and depression respectively. अभी ये इन्फ्लेशन डिप्रेशन वर्ड देख के एकदम ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. इन्फ्लेशन मीन्स राइज इन प्राइस. Inflation means rise in price. Depression means fall in price. Depression means fall in price. So when we are talking about inflation, तो महंगाई सबको पता रहता है. Everybody is aware about when the price goes up कि ये चीज़ महंगा हो गया and the price of this particular goods has gone up. Depression थोड़ा difficult है समझना. Inflation तो आपने खुद ही एक एग्जांपल आप लोग खुद दे सकते हो कि ये प्रोडक्ट में जब भी छोटी थी या छोटा था तो it used to cost only this much and now this product is costing this much, isn't it? तो ये तो आप लोग को ही पता है कि इन्फ्लेशन हो रहा है and overall सब all over the world inflation is happening on a year on year basis, so that we can't stop it. Can you give one example of inflation? कोई भी प्रोडक्ट का एग्जांपल दे सकते हो? फॉल इन प्राइस का मतलब है कि लोग खरीदने को रेडी नहीं है. क्यों खरीदने को रेडी नहीं? क्योंकि उनके पास इनकम ही नहीं है. अभी सबसे बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज ऑफ दिस पैंडेमिक. पैंडेमिक में बहुत सारे लोगों का जॉब चला गया. बहुत सारे लोगों को सैलरी कट से हाफ सैलरी, 30%, 20% सैलरी में कट आया. तो इससे क्या हो रहा है कि पीपल हु यूज्ड टू अर्न पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट आर नाउ अर्निंग अ लेस अमाउंट. अगर पहला का जो सैलरी है उससे कम अगर सैलरी आता है तो क्या होता है, लोग कम स्पेंड करते हैं. अगर लोग कम स्पेंड करेंगे तो कितना भी प्राइसेस लो होने दो कोई उसको खरीदेगा नहीं. तो ये पैंडेमिक एकदम बेस्ट एग्जांपल है कि प्राइस कितना भी अगर नीचे गिरेगा फिर भी अगर किसी के पास जॉब नहीं है तो वो खरीदेगा क्या? नहीं खरीदेगा. तो ऐसा एक दो लोग के पास जॉब नहीं है ऐसा नहीं है. देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु आर आउट ऑफ देयर जॉब. तो इसे कहते हैं डिप्रेशन. तो एकदम बेस्ट एग्जांपल डिप्रेशन का यही है जो तुमने एकदम लाइव देखा है. ये पैंडेमिक में विच यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस्ड, इट इज अ लाइव थिंग. फर्स्ट ग्रेट डिप्रेशन आया था 1930 यूएसए में. डेट याद रखने का जरूरत नहीं है. then they won't be spending it. If they are not spending it, तो अगर मैन्युफैक्चरर ने कितना भी डिस्काउंट दिया तो भी कोई खरीदेगा नहीं, because they are not having money. Understood the meaning of inflation and depression. Point number, unemployment created due to impact of cyclical fluctuation is called as cyclical unemployment. Point number 5, economic growth. इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ। इकोनॉमी का मतलब होता है कि द नेशंस इनकम एंड एक्सपेंस इन वेरी सिंपल टर्म इज कॉल्ड एज इकोनॉमी। अभी नेशन ग्रो होता है तो कैसा मालूम पड़ता है कि नेशन ग्रो हो रहा है? जब भी एक नेशन के पास ज्यादा पैसा आ रहा है देन इट इज कॉल्ड एज ग्रोथ ऑफ अ नेशन। तो कैलकुलेट कैसे करेंगे? कैलकुलेट करेंगे नेशनल इनकम, पूरा कंट्री का इनकम बढ़ रहा है कि कम हो रहा है। जो पिछले साल का नेशनल इनकम है और ये साल का नेशनल इनकम है, अगर हम लोग कंपेयर करेंगे, इफ वी कंपेयर नेशनल इनकम ऑफ 2019 एंड इफ वी कंपेयर नेशनल इनकम ऑफ 2020, तो ऑब्वियसली कौन सा नेशनल इनकम ज्यादा रहेगा? 2019 का ज्यादा रहेगा, क्योंकि 2020 में क्या हुआ ये आप लोग को पता है। सब बिजनेस बंद था, बहुत सारा लॉस हुआ। अभी धीरे धीरे करके बिजनेस रिवाइव हो रहा है। तो ऑब्वियसली ये तो कोई भी प्रेडिक्ट कर सकता है कि इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ जो है वो 2019 में अच्छा था और 2020 में पूरा वर्ल्ड का जो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ है वो डाउन ही हो गया। नॉट ऑफ वन पर्टिकुलर कंट्री बट ऑफ एवरी कंट्री अराउंड द वर्ल्ड, everybody's economic growth has fallen down. The economic growth has quantitative dimensions. अभी ये मैंने कैसा पता किया? Quantitative underline and quantitative, always remember the meaning of quantitative is which can be counted in numbers. It is always in numbers. Quantitative means it is in numbers. In simple words, the economic growth means an increase in real national income of the country over a long period of time. तो जब कंट्री का नेशनल इनकम बढ़ता है तो उसे कहते हैं इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ। एक साल के लिए नहीं, कंटिन्यूस 5 साल 10 साल के लिए जब भी कंट्री का नेशनल इनकम इंक्रीज होता है तो उसे क्या कहते हैं? गुड। It is about Switzerland. So as you can see that the growth of Switzerland in the particular years from in 2012 it was below 0%. In 2014 it was 1%, 2%. Whatever it is, it was in zero or below, little bit below. 18, 19. What is the growth rate? Just look at the screen and tell me. Good. You won't be able to understand things properly. That's why this small concepts we will go through the internet and we'll try to find out whether is it really growing, is it not growing, what is the meaning of economic growth. Without all these examples, we won't be able to understand. Okay. So going further, that is India's growth rate, as you can see, 8.2 and it has gone down to 3.1. Economic growth. The term economic growth has a quantitative dimension. Simple word, economic growth means an increase in real national income of country over a long period of time. So obviously we were increasing. If you look at the chart, it was increasing. In July, if you see before July also, before July 2017 also, we were increasing. But yeah, because of some issues, because of business up and downs, because of the trade war between China and America, which affected the whole world, it was going down. And because of pandemic, which started in December 2019 itself, our economy went down and down. And now, for general knowledge, if what is the growth rate of India in 2020, it is 3.1. That you have to remember. You don't have to write it anywhere, but just for your knowledge. Economic development. So economic growth is different, economic development is different. As you can see, in economic growth, only quantitative dimension they are talking about. But in economic development, they are talking about qualitative. Quantity can be measured. What we now saw was quantitative. What was Switzerland's growth? What was India's growth? So this was all quantitative approach. But what we are going to see now is qualitative approach. Qualitative means although India is growing better than Switzerland, but the quality of life is much better in Switzerland than in India. Everybody knows, isn't it? So that is called as qualitative approach. In very simple terms, that is called as qualitative approach. Even though they are growing at 1%, but the quality of life over there is far better than the developing countries because they are developed countries. and we are developing countries, China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, we are all, but their quality is more. That's why it is called as qualitative approach. Economic development, it's a wider concept which has qualitative dimension. Economic development implies economic growth plus progressive changes in certain important variables which determine well-being of the people, education, health, etc. So education is also considered. In developed countries, the government help the citizens to get education. Economic development, they're talking about qualitative. Quantity can be measured. What we now saw was quantitative. What was Switzerland's growth? What was India's growth? So this was all quantitative approach. But what we are going to see now is qualitative approach. Qualitative means although India is growing better than Switzerland, but the quality of life is much better in Switzerland than in India. Everybody knows, isn't it? So that is called as qualitative approach. In very simple terms, that is called as qualitative approach. Even though they are growing at 1%, but the quality of life over there is far better than the developing countries, because they are developed countries and we are developing countries, China, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, we are all developing countries. So quality of life in developed country is more. So even though if this is less, their growth is less, but their quality is more. That's why it is called as qualitative approach. Economic development, it's a wider concept which has qualitative dimension. Economic development implies economic growth plus progressive changes in certain important variables which determine well-being of the people, education, health, etc. So education is also considered. In developed countries, the government help the citizens to get education. If someone is unhealthy, the government gives particular grants. But in developing country, education and health is still a very big question mark. Okay, kids who are born in poor families, they do not get the facility of education. They are deprived from getting education, and obviously a very poor family is also not given any health facility. Government hospitals are there. In developing countries, there are many government hospitals, but then too, the health facility over there are not good. But in developed countries, they care about the citizen, and health and education is given first importance in developed countries. So this point I am bringing up only to make you all explain the meaning of qualitative dimension. So today we have completed the answer, that is basic concepts of macroeconomics. First point is national income, second is savings, third is investment, fourth is trade cycles, in which you have to write about inflation, that is continuous rise, and depression means continuous fall in price. Both are not good for the economy. Even price, if there is more price, then the consumer won't buy. If the price is very less, then also consumer won't buy, because if they are not having a proper job, if they are not having money in their hand, if they are not having money in their hand, and however less the manufacturer reduces the cost, but then too nobody will buy because they are not having proper jobs. So I hope this is clear. Fourth point. Fifth point, economic growth, economic development. In economic growth, always write this word quantitative. Economic development, you have to write qualitative. Quantity can be measured, quality cannot be measured. If you are buying 2 biscuit packets, at the biscuit packet how many biscuits are there, that can be measured. But what is the quality of the biscuit, that cannot be measured, that can be only experienced. Economic development. So have you understood? Do you have any doubt in any of the points?